today, so welcome to Mindful Morning Weekend Yoga. And I teach these classes most weekends, Saturdays or Sundays, dependent on scheduling at 9 or 10 or 8 sometimes in the summer. So thank you all for joining me. If you didn't join, I wouldn't have anybody to teach. So I appreciate that you all continue to come week after week. This is actually, I've been doing this for about 4.5 years. So as an invitation, do what works for you. Online yoga is a little bit tricky to see everyone in your little boxes and give you feedback. So do what works for you and accommodate and adjust, thinking that everything I offer is an invitation. And yoga is a good opportunity to check in with what works for you and maybe what doesn't. So beginning by finding your sit bones and your ischial spines and moving that flesh of the seat out of the way and stretching legs long this morning. You may need knees slightly bent, or you may extend them long and flex your ankles a little bit. Tilting your pelvic bowl forward and stacking your spine towards the sky, engaging your belly, and just taking in a big deep breath here. And a huge exhale. Inhaling in through your chest, rooting your sit bones downward, finding your connection to the earth. And a huge exhale, letting it out, rooting downward once again, connecting into the ground and the earth. After all the busyness of the last week, finding your connection back to you and back to your root. Taking in another inhale, hands can be wherever they are on your legs. And a huge exhale out. And here, with belly engaged, bring your hand to heart and another hand to top, just wishing yourself well as we begin this morning. And wishing everyone joining us here well. And wishing those who may still be near well or far well, those who came to visit and have gone back to their lives. And just taking a moment to accept the world as it is today on this December 1st Sunday. In all the ways that it is, all the people you love, the ways that they are. And whatever may be happening in our world exactly the way it is. Allowing some kindness and space for that. Letting go of holding things tightly. And we'll lower hands and open our eyes and wiggle our toes. And spreading legs wide open here, coming into a wide angle pose. Have a little rock on your sit bones. Once again, find your roots, sending those ischial spines downward. Find your belly. Lean forward a teensy bit. Back is flat. And walk your hands forward a smidge by smidge by smidge. Flex ankles, press knees towards the floor. If they don't want to go straight, move them a little farther together. Find a spot that works for you and don't overdo it. Be kind. Walk your hands forward a smidge more and enjoy the energy shift here. Point toes and flex toes and point your toes and flex your toes. Spreading the toes wide, letting the energy in. Close eyes, relax toes, and walk up towards your pelvis. Huge breath into your chest here. Exhale, let it out. Slide your left hand down your left leg and reach your right arm over. Root your right hip down, finding the root. Huge breath into every nook and cranny of that right side. If it's available, gaze over the right shoulder. Huge inhale and exhale. Inhale, reaching the left arm up, switching sides. Right hand comes down the right side. Root your left hip downward. And exhale. Slowly making space, settling into your roots, filling your lungs with the breath, coming back to you and to that stillness and to your body. Sliding back upright. Bringing both hands behind you, plant your fingers, pick up your hips and slide them forward a little bit further. Heart shines forward, elbows straight, fingers press into the earth. Huge breath in here. Press your heels in one direction. And exhale, let it out. Send your roots downward. With legs and belly engaged, release your fingers and bring them up to the sky. Drop your shoulders. Inhale, reach tall, tall, tall. Exhale, twist to the left. Left hand comes behind you, right hand comes to your thigh. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, ring it out. Gaze over that left shoulder. Inhale, grow tall once again. Legs engaged, ankles engaged, roots sending downward. Exhale, ring it out. Enjoy your back here. Inhale, reach arms to the sky. Exhale, twist all the way right. Right hand plants behind you, left hand on your thigh. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, ring it out. Inhale, grow tall. And exhale, ring it out. One more breath here. Send your roots down as you grow tall. Exhale, breathe over the right shoulder. Inhale, arms up. Come back to center. Bring your hands to your outer thighs. Draw your feet together. Come into butterfly pose. Hug your heels towards you. Press your knees towards the floor. Find your sit bones. Have a rock. Let it feel good. Wrap your elbows around your chest and grow tall. Tall as you can. Exhale, press knees towards the floor. One more breath here. Close eyes with this breath. Grow tall. And find your roots. Finding your steadiness in this season of busyness. Growing tall once again, like a redwood tree, as tall towards the sky as you can. Exhale, release, enjoy. Extend your left leg. Bring your right foot into the inner thigh. Drop your right knee, bring your right hand behind you about 1.5 feet and lift up into wild thing. Your left toes will shift to the right and enjoy a morning stretch here. Roll your wrists, let it feel really good. Sitting back down. Slide your left hand down that left leg and reach your right arm over. Let it feel good. And once again, come back to wild thing, lifting up. And coming back down for a stretch. Come back to center. Extend your right leg, left leg comes in, and we'll come to wild thing on this side. Let it feel really lovely. Stretching in whatever way feels good, and slide your hand down and over. Use your belly here to protect your back. Letting go of things as you flow a bit, move a bit. Let your body feel good. We'll come back to center and slide both legs long in front. Move that flesh of your seat. Slide down your thighs to your calves, towards your toes. Back is flat and lean forward. Enjoy the energy shifts. Let the shifts happen. Accept them, embrace them, invite them. Point toes and flex ankles. Slide a little bit further, maybe one foot and the other. And sliding up. We'll sweep our feet around, coming to hands and knees. Spread fingers wide. Inhale for cow. Let your belly feel really good here. And exhale for cat. Inhale. And exhale. And one more here, letting it feel amazing. Come back to tabletop and pause. Lower down to hands and knees. Come into puppy pose. Inviting your shoulders to open. Walk your fingers forward. Let the energy shift in the armpits from the waist all the way to your fingertips. Wiggle your fingers as far forward as you can. Let it feel really good. Walk hands back by your face, bend your elbows, lift up to tabletop. Raise your left arm to the sky. Exhale, thread it through. Come into thread the needle. Left ear comes on the floor and enjoy a shoulder stretch. Your right arm will come forward. Let the energy move. Let yourself land in your body. Noticing knees on the floor, tops of the feet on the floor. Your breath pouring in. Finding your steadiness. Bring your hand back by your face, right hand, untangle. Reach the left hand to the sky. Come back to tabletop. Plant your hands, find your center. Reach your right arm to the sky. Thread it through. Right ear to the floor. Extend the left arm. And enjoy. Pauses to enjoy. Bring left hand back by your face. Untangle. Reach that right arm to the sky. Come back to hands and knees. Once again, find your steadiness. Extend your right leg long behind you, toes on the earth. Inhale, use your belly, raise your right leg to hip height, and pause here. Pause and breathe. And when you're ready, extend your left hand long. Find your balance, roll the right ankle, roll the left wrist in both directions. Huge breath in, stretch long in stillness. Heel reaches forward, fingers reach forward. Exhale, elbow to knee underneath you. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, elbow to knee. And we'll do one more. Stretch as long as you can, engaging your glutes and your heel, and squeeze tight. And stretch long. If you can, bend your back knee and reach your hand to reach your foot and enjoy a stretch in the front of the thigh, if it feels good. Notice the balance and the steadiness required. Release. Bring your hand to the earth, your foot to the earth. Drop your right heel, reach your right hand to the sky. Come into gate pose. Huge breath in, reach your fingers tall. Exhale, right arm over the right ear. Right outer edge of the foot reaches into the earth. If it would feel fun, raise that right leg and come to balance. Reach your right arm to the sky, still balancing if this is you. And you can bend your foot again, grab your ankle and hug it towards you. Enjoy a thigh stretch, if that's available. And if not, just hang out wherever it is. Release your hand, bring your arms to the sky, lower your foot, lower your hand, come back to hands and knees. Inhale for cat, cow, both. Exhale for cat. Massage your spine here. Come back to tabletop. Find your steadiness. Stretch your left leg long. Inhale, raise it to just below hip height, not above, keeping the arch out of your back. And when you feel ready, reach your right arm long. Press in either direction, grow long, engage your belly. Huge breath in, stretch. Exhale, elbow to knee underneath you. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, stretch. And we'll do one more. Allow your back to round and your body to flow a little, dropping into your body and out of your head. Roll wrists, ankles in either direction. Lower hand, lower toes. Drop your left heel to the right and reach your arm to the sky. Come into gate pose. Reach your arm over your ear. Let it feel really good. If you wish, pick up the left leg and balance here. And if you wish, bend your knee and enjoy the thigh stretch. Pausing here, letting yourself sink in. Let the thigh melt a bit. Release your foot. Release your hands. Come back to hands and knees. Enjoy another cat-cow. Shift back to child's pose. Stretch your lower back, knees apart, toes together. Sink your hips low, fingers long, long, long in front. Forehead comes to the earth. Walk your fingers to the left, right hand atop the left. Enjoy your right side body. Walk your hands to the right. Enjoy the left side body. Root left hip back, reaching fingers long. Finding your steadiness, landing. And coming back to you. A lot of outward energy over the holidays and busy family gatherings. Come back to center, stretch your fingers long, enjoy your armpits, root your hips all the way back. Let your forehead connect to the earth and take a moment to ground and center within you. Slowly rise up to hands and knees. Walk your hands forward a handprint and curl up to downward dog. And here, take a minute. Enjoy the stretch. Enjoy things waking up. Play with it. Let it feel good. Notice if you want your dog to be longer or shorter. Ground both palms into the earth. Ground the left ball mound into the earth and raise your right leg to hip height. Stretch it long as you can. Let it feel really, really good. Roll your ankle in both directions. Bend your knee, stack your hip, and enjoy your hip and your rear end. Re-square your hip. Press your foot to the back wall. Three-legged dog. Press, press, press. Huge inhale. Exhale, bring your foot between your hands. We're going to come into low lunge or Anjaneyasana. If you have blocks, grab them. And if you don't. And let this feel good. I encourage you to stay upright, a bit higher using blocks if you can. If you don't have blocks, hands can be on your thigh. And enjoy your left hip flexor. Notice if you need to walk your right toes a little bit farther forward, tack your right hip back. Take a huge breath, pouring it into the left hip flexor. And exhale, sinking in a bit. Notice if you want to wiggle your back knee back a little bit. Three more breaths here. Let your face soften, your hands soften, your toes relax. Walk your blocks forward if you have them. Put them on the medium setting. Press hands into the blocks and lift up into a low lunge. You may, or a high lunge, sorry. You may need to widen your feet a little bit. Find a steady spot for you. Take a minute to see what that looks like. And slowly rise up. Finding your belly, finding your center. Bring your arms to the sky and bounce until you find where you'd like to be. Huge inhale and settle in. Bring your hands to heart center. Press the thumbs into your sternum. Straighten your front knee and bend your front knee. And straight your front knee. Press the thumbs into your sternum if you're tippy and bend. And we'll do one more, straight and bend. Sinking a little lower here. Breathe. Lower hands to the blocks if you have them or towards the floor. You'll straighten your front knee, coming into a long pyramid. Play with the height of your blocks to see what feels best on that front leg. And reach the heel of the back foot towards the floor. So the front knee is straight. Lift up the back heel, lower it down, lift up your toes. Shift. Enjoy the back of the right leg. Bring your block close to the inside of the right foot. Place your left hand on it. Twist to the right, coming into a revolve triangle. Enjoying the shifts here. Come back to your blocks. Walk that left hand back so you're steady. Perhaps bring your right toes a little more centered. Bend your back knee and hop it to meet the front, probably 2 hops. Come into a forward fold. You can stack the blocks and put your forehead on them or sway. Notice what your body needs. Does it need a forehead centered and grounded, or does it need a sway? And take 3 breaths here. Perhaps lift up all 10 toes, spread them wide, root them down, shifting weight. Finding a spot that feels grounded, rooted. After our big storm here, a lot of trees tipped over, not here, but in the area, because there's a lot of forests nearby. And noticing what it looks like to have your roots ripped up from the ground and what it feels like to have them grounded. And taking time to tuck those roots back down into the earth. Lower hands. Engage your belly and curling up, unrolling inch by inch by inch by inch until your head lands atop your spine, letting the blood flow in. Coming to be a tree or a mountain, a tall standing redwood tree, maybe, or a beautiful mountain in the morning sunshine, both of which there's still plenty of. Wiggling toes and fingers, sending the soles of the feet downward, coming into your most beautiful mountain pose. Envisioning the mountains reaching to the sky in the morning light. Huge breath in, wrapping your heart with breath, filling your lungs with breath. Exhale, let it out. Inhale your arms out and up towards the sky, bringing hands together. Interlace your fingers. Your pointer fingers will reach to the sky. Notice your feet. Feet can be hips width. Huge breath in, grow tall. Point as tall, tall, tall as you can. Exhale, tip towards the left, coming into crescent moon. Root your left foot down. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, tip to the right. Let your crescent moon feel really good. Inhale, come back to center. Drip your hands back to heart center and hold them here. Press your thumbs into your sternum. Lift up all 10 toes, root them down. Kickstand your right foot to your left calf. We're going to come into tree pose here. Slide your foot up to the calf or the inner thigh, but not over your knee. Draw your right knee backwards a little bit. Engage your glutes. Readjust your toes and your balance and reach your arms, branches to the sky if that would feel good. Let it feel amazing. Bring your hands back to heart center. Draw your knee forward and shift your right knee back. We're going to come into warrior 3 or flying for fun, shifting your weight forward. And your hands can come long in front or to the side or by your sides. You choose, or stay at your heart center. When you are ready, shift your knee back forward and lower your foot, shake it out, roll your shoulders. Undoing the kinks, roll your wrists, roll your toes, ankles. We'll send the roots of our right foot down, lifting up all 5 toes, sending them into the earth. Kickstand your left foot. Bring your hands to heart center for your balance. Slide your foot up to your calf or your inner thigh, just not on your knee. Everyone wants to put their foot on their knee, but it's not kind. When you feel ready, reach your arms to the sky. Beautiful branches, envisioning the most beautiful tree. Most trees are still standing after rainstorms, looking beautiful. Dropping lots of leaves, perhaps, rolling wrists. Bring your hands back to heart center. Press the thumbs into the sternum for balance. Turn your knee forward. Find your balance. Shift your weight forward and your leg backwards. Coming to fly. Arms can come forward, to the sides, to the back. Do what feels good to you. When you feel complete, coming back upright, lower your foot, roll your wrists, shake it out, lift up all 10 toes, lower them down, lift up onto your tippy toes, lower your heels, lift up your toes, send your roots down. Find your belly, inhale your arms, reach up towards the sky, palms will come together, drip them down in front, coming into a forward fold. Inhale for a half lift. Your heart will shine forward, hands to your thighs. Exhale, lower down. Widen your feet a wee bit if needed, and place one hand on the earth, let's say left hand, or on the block. Bend your left knee, straight your right, twist to the right, and send some love to your IT band. Switch sides, plant your right hand, roll your wrist, come back to center. Let yourself have a sag here. Grasp each elbow, have a sway, find the soles of your feet, find your belly. Lifting up all 10 toes, lower them down. Bring your hands to your heart upside down here. Sink your hips back. Come into chair pose, a really low one. Find your thighs, lift up your toes into your heels, sink lower. Waking everything up here. Lower hands, shoot your hips up, coming back to your forward fold, release. Plant your hands on the earth. Step back to plank. Spread your fingers wide. Find your center. Shift your weight back and forth a little bit. Drop your heels to the right. Left hand reaches to the sky. Come into a side plank. It's one of my favorite poses. So roll your left wrist, reach it over your head. Let it feel good. Lift up, go back to center. Find your center. Shift around. Let it be flowy today a little bit. Drop your heels to the left. Weight into the left hand. Reach your right arm up. Roll your wrist. Reach it over your head. Enjoy your waist. Come back to plank and pause here for a second. Notice the shaking. Slowly lower down, bend knees, untuck toes, chaturanga to the floor. Weight is out of your hands. Inhale for a low cobra. Weight, gaze forward, heart shines forward. Exhale, lower down. Inhale for another low cobra. Exhale, lower down. Bring your hands by your waist, palms up. Find the front of your hips. Inhale, lift up for locust pose. Enjoy your back, wiggle fingers, toes, heart still shines forward. Lower down. And we'll do one more. You can do bow pose, or you can do locust again. You choose. Inhale, lift up if you're coming to locust, or bend knees, grab ankles, and lift up. Have a rock if that's fun. Undo, lower down. Right ear comes to the floor. Enjoy the front body on the earth. Something we don't feel often. Switch sides, left ear comes to the earth. Being kind to both sides of your neck. Forehead back to center. Bring your hands back by your chest. Curl your toes and press up to downward dog. You can come through hands and knees or straight up. Do what feels good to you. And when you arrive, hang out. Enjoy it. Plant your hands, plant the right ball mount, find your belly, and raise your left leg to the sky. Press the heel into the back wall.
Stack your hips if you wish. Roll your ankle, bend knee. Re-square. Press the heel into the back wall. Everything engaged. Gently bring your foot between your hands. Come into low lunge. Grab your blocks if you wish. And take a moment here to sink into the right hip flexor. Really enjoy it. Have a rock. Wiggle front toes, maybe even a little farther forward. Shimmy your back knee a little farther back. Grow taller. Inviting a little bit more release here. Walk your blocks a little forward if you have them. Curl back toes. Lift up to a high lunge and take a minute to find the right spot for your back foot. Rising arms up to the sky. Sink into that front knee. Have a little bit of a bounce. Find your steadiness, sink in. Sending some spaciousness to the right hip flexor. Thanking it for all it does and giving it permission to soften. Straight your front knee and bend your front knee. And straight that front knee and bend. Straight once more and bend. Lower your hands to your blocks or the floor. Straight your front knee. Come into that long pyramid, and you may need to readjust your back foot. Pausing here, inviting the back of that left leg to soften. Use the breath to invite space. Notice the sole of that left foot on the earth and all 5 toes. Perhaps shift weight forward and back. And find your center. Ground into the earth here, even in this long pyramid. Bring your right block towards your left foot if you have a block, and we'll twist to the left, coming into revolve triangle, sending some love to that outer left leg. Come back to center. Move your right block out to the side, left, both blocks out to the side. Plant your hands on the earth, and we're going to bend to the front knee and step that back front foot back to downward dog and hang out here for a moment. Perhaps press heels closer to the floor. Notice how it feels. Have a rock. Find the palms of your hands and all 10 fingers, sending them down into the earth. Root the ball mound of the left foot into the earth. Raise your right leg to the sky. Gently bring that right foot between your hands. We're going to come into a proud pigeon, an upright pigeon. Your right knee will come to the outer edge of the right mat, and your right foot will come to the left outer edge, and you'll rise up. Heart shines forward. The proud pigeon is upright. And we'll be here for 3 breaths. Be kind to your knees. If this hurts your knee, hang out in downward dog. Actually a great place to hang out for much longer than we usually do. 2 more breaths here. Plant your hands, curl your back toes, and untangle back to downward dog. Walk the dog. Come to stillness. Find the 10 fingers in both palmar surfaces, the right ball mound, and raise the left leg. Huge breath in. Exhale, thread your leg through your hands, come into pigeon on the other side. Proud pigeon, and be upright. You can even use blocks if you wish. Do what feels good to your back and your hip. We're all different. Shifting weight, letting it feel really good. Slowly untangle, come back to downward dog. Find your hands, raise your right leg to the sky, gently bring it between your hands, cartwheel up to warrior two. Lift front palm up, tip back to peaceful, elegant warrior. Wiggle those front toes forward if you need. Cartwheel open to warrior two. Bring your right forearm to the right thigh, reach to side angle. Let this feel really good. Cartwheel up to warrior two. Straight that front knee. Your left hip's going to shoot back. Right hand reaches forward. Drop into Trikonasana or triangle. If you want to use a block, do that. Right leg is straight. Left arm reaching to the sky. Draw the left shoulder back. You might even bring your left hand into the right hip crease and gaze up. You choose. Reach your left hand to the sky. And for fun, we're going to do a little half moon here. I know some of you are outside, so you do what works for you. If you have a block, bend your front knee, hop the back foot forward. You'll shift your weight into that right hand and raise your left leg to the sky. You can raise your left hand to the sky. You can keep your left hand on your hip. And if you don't have a block, you can balance using a couch cushion, a bench. You can also lean into the wall if you wish. I love half moon. Finding the right leg, rooting it into the earth. When you feel complete, bring your hand to your hip, bend your knee, and come back to triangle legs. Cartwheel up, right. And we are going to turn your right toes towards the side of the mat and left toes towards, for you, most of you, it'll be the back of your mat. Bend your front knee, come into warrior two. Flip that front palm up, tip back to reverse warrior. Shift back to warrior two. Bend the front elbow, reach over, coming into side angle. Enjoy the right side body here. Stretch, reach, fill every nook and cranny. Cartwheel up. Find your block as you're up, if you have one. Straight your front knee, right hip shifts back. We're going to come into Trikonasana. Triangle pose. Drop your left hand onto the block. Reach your right arm to the sky. And do what of this feels good. We're all in different spaces on different days. I realize I'm doing more upright moving today because that's what my body is craving. Bring your right hand to the left hip crease. Draw your shoulder back. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Grab the block if you have one. If you don't have one, you also don't need it. You'll bend your front knee.
You'll hop that back foot forward and you'll lift up to half moon. You can use the wall, you can use a couch cushion, you can use a bench, a tree. Let it feel good. And when you feel complete, hand comes back to your waist, lower your foot, bring the block back, come to triangle legs, move the block out of the way, cartwheel up, bring your hands to your hips, turn your toes to the side of the mat and fold forward, back flat, coming into a wide angle forward fold. If you happen to have a block, grab it. Bring your hands between your legs. If you don't, just hang out here. If you have high blood pressure, keep your back flat and head at shoulder height. You choose what feels good to you. If your head is on a block, allow yourself to settle and ground. Today, you'll notice I'm using that word grounding a lot. Coming back to your body, stepping out of busyness, not into stillness, but into centeredness, groundedness, being. Walk your hands back, out front, move the block if you have it. Heel toe your feet together. We're going to come into a yogi squat. Sink your hips down. Hands come to heart center inside of the knees. Press the thumbs into the sternum and take a minute. Let this feel really good. Lower hands, shoot your toes to the front, come into a forward fold to release. And when you feel ready, unroll. Coming to stand, head will be the last to rise. Take a moment here. And as you're here, find your mountain pose, your Tadasana again, wiggle fingers. Open eyes. Bring a hand to heart and another hand to top, check in. Checking in with however you feel today, whatever's happening. We'll slowly lower hands and lower knees. Come to lie down on your mat. However you want to get there. And let yourself arrive. Let yourself melt in. Bend your knees if they're not bent. Bring your right knee in towards you. Give it a huge hug. Rock it into the hip socket laterally. Bring your hands behind your right thigh. Straight your right leg to the sky. Press your heel to the sky, toes towards your nose and towards the sky. Roll your ankle. Point and flex. Press that heel to the sky, hamstring into your hand. Extend your left leg. Point both toes and flex both ankles. Press the hamstring into your hand once more. Gently bend your knee. Lower your foot to the floor.
Bring a hand to heart and a hand to belly. Drop your knee towards the floor, towards the right. You're coming to a lying down tree. And take a moment here. Notice how you feel. Bend your left knee. Come into Supta Baddha Konasana, or reclining butterfly. Let your knees fall towards the earth. Notice your sacrum on the floor. Bring your right hand to the outer right thigh. Draw your knee to the sky and stretch your right leg long, coming into the tree, reclining tree on the other side. Notice how things maybe feel different here. Wiggle toes on the right foot. Draw your left knee to the sky. Bend both knees. Hug the left knee in towards you and release your hip. Perhaps stir a pot with your hip. Bring your hands behind your left thigh. Reach your left heel to the sky. Flex the ankle. Press the hamstring into your hands. Point your toe. Flossing the nerve. Flex your ankle. Point your toe. Bend. Roll. Let it be a little bit soft. Extend your right leg long. Press the hamstring into the hand. Heel to the sky. Point and flex your toes once more. Roll the ankle. Press heel to the sky, hamstring into your hands. Bend your knee. Release, extend it long, side the other. Reach arms above your head, long, 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 stretching long, as tall as you can. Enjoy a big stretch. Walk feet to the left, right ankle atop left. Left thumb and middle finger grab right wrist. Come into a crescent moon or banana. Enjoy your right side body here. Remembering you can opt out of anything that doesn't work for you. Come back to center. Walk to the other side. Switch hands. Crescent moon, banana on this side. Uncross. Come back to center. Once again, a huge long stretch in either direction. As long as you can. Release. Bring your hands by your sides. Bend your knees, hug your knees to your chest, and have a massage rock on your back here. If happy baby would feel good, do that. If you wish to straighten one leg and then the other, do that. Bring soles of the feet together. Press heels to the groin. Release. Release your hands. Lower your feet. Bring your knees together. Feet apart. Raise arms over your head. Knock kneed. Drop your knees to the right. Release your left hip. Windshield wiper, knees back to center. Let them fall to the left. Back to center. Bring your knees hips width, feet hips width. Lower hands down by your waist. Walk your heels towards your rear end and lift up to bridge pose. Shimmy your shoulders under you. You can grab the outer edges of your mat. Press your mat towards the front. Lift your hips high as you can. Let it feel really good. Higher, higher, higher. Lift up onto tippy toes if you can. lower heels. Lift hips a smidge higher, shimmy shoulders under you, tug that mat towards your heels. Untuck shoulders and unroll slowly to the floor. Let yourself melt into the floor. And we are going to come into Shavasana here. You might choose a traditional Shavasana, or you might choose Supta Baddha Konasana, or you might choose knees bent. Take your time to find something that feels good. And allow yourself to settle in here. Settle into a moment of integration, a moment of rest, a moment of peace and calm and groundedness. Gently begin to deepen your breath. Slowly start to wiggle fingers and toes. And take a moment to stretch in any way that feels good to you. And drawing knees into your chest, roll over to one side and pause. Pause and notice how you feel now. Slowly make your way up to a comfortable seat. Find your sit bones. Tilt your pelvic bowl forward, grow tall. And bring a hand to heart and another hand to top. Taking a moment to thank yourself for taking this time for you. And to thank everyone here for sharing space together.
wishing yourself well, wishing everyone here well, wishing your loved ones, friends, family, colleagues well, and wishing the greater world well. May you all head out a little more centered, a little more grounded, and a little more at peace. Thank you all so much for practicing with me this morning. The light in me honors and reflects the light in each and every one of you. Namaste.